I mean, examples of symmetric algorithms that we have discussed so far. DAS, we have discussed triple DAS, Blowfish, IDEA, RC4, RC5, and RC6, and we have discussed advanced encryption standard, right? So, what were the limitations of symmetric key cryptography? One was the security services. I've told you confidentiality is going to achieve, but we are not achieving, I mean to see that authenticity and non-repudiation, scalability, the issue of if the users are going to increase, the number of keys are going to be increased, it's a big issue. And the secure key distribution is a big hassle when we are talking about asymmetric key algorithms, right? Now we are moving towards another topic or another type of cryptography that is called as your asymmetric key algorithm, right? Already we have discussed a lot regarding asymmetric keys, how they work, public private pair is being generated and all these things. But now we need to look upon each and every type of asymmetric key algorithm, right? Diffie-Hellman, that was the first one. Then RSA, the best one, Rivas, Shamir, Edelman, El-Gamal, ECC, that is called as your elliptic curve crypto system. Then you have the digital signature algorithm, that is called as your DSA. And then you have Merkle-Hellman knapsack. Now we need to discuss each one of them in detail in our next lectures, right? What is Diffie-Hellman? Very important asymmetric algorithm. The first group to address the shortfall of symmetric key cryptography decided to attack the issue of secure distribution of the symmetric key. I mean, जो सबसे बड़ा issue था symmetric key का, that is secure distribution, that needs to be addressed by the Diffie-Hellman, right? So Whitefield, Diffie, and Martin-Hellman worked on this problem and ended up developing the first asymmetric key agreement algorithm called naturally Diffie-Hellman, right? So two scientists were there, Whitefield Diffie and Martin-Hellman. They have decided to solve the problem of symmetric key cryptography by using asymmetric key cryptography, that is called as your Diffie-Hellman algorithm. That is a key agreement algorithm called naturally Diffie-Hellman, right? The key exchange and key agreement, these are the two different type of protocol. I would like to explain you in future, right? So right now you need to understand this is a key agreement algorithm, right? So let's say now try to understand the working of Diffie-Hellman. So let's say that Ahmed and Bilal would like to communicate over an encrypted channel by using Diffie-Hellman. ठीक है जी? They would both generate a private and public key pair and exchange public keys. Ahmed's software would take his private key, which is just a numeric value, and Bilal's public key, another numeric value, and put them through the Diffie-Hellman algorithm. Now, try to understand the concept. The concept was same. I mean, like a public-private pair. I mean, there are two peoples, Ahmed and Bilal, and they want to communicate over an encrypted channel by using Diffie-Hellman, right? This is a scenario. Now, if we are talking about asymmetric key cryptography, we know that if Ahmad is going to generate its public-private pair, the private key would remain with Ahmad and public key would be public to everybody. I mean to Bilal. And same applies to Bilal also. I mean, if Bilal is going to generate its public-private key pair, then private key would remain with Bilal and public keys would be public to everybody and as well to Ahmad, right? This is very much clear. I mean to say that this is the situation or this is the mechanism that needs to be followed by any type of asymmetric key algorithm, right? So now what they have done, they have generated a public private key pair and exchange their public keys. ठीक है जी, उन्होंने इतना किया कि अपनी public private key का pair generate किया और exchange कर ली अपनी keys, public keys exchange कर ली, ठीक है. Now Ahmed's software would take his private key, I mean Ahmed's crypto system, I mean to say, have taken its private key and Bilal's public key, another numeric value, and put them through the Diffie-Hellman algorithm. अब यहाँ से थोड़ा सा difference आता है हमारे पास. I mean at both the ends, I mean at Ahmed's end as well as on Bilal's end, both are going to run Diffie-Hellman at their ends. ठीक है जी, वो कैसे? Ahmed क्या करेगा? Ahmed is going to take his private key and Bilal's public key and run these two keys through a Diffie-Hellman algorithm at their end, at his end, I mean at Ahmed's end. The same procedure is being applied at the Bilal's end also. Bilal would take his private key that is already would remain with him, and the public key of Ahmed. These both keys are being combined and passes through a Diffie-Hellman algorithm at Bilal's end, right? Now, this is the procedure that is going to be performed. अब हुआ क्या? Now, Bilal's software would take his private key and Ahmed's public key and insert them into a Diffie-Hellman algorithm on his computer. Through this process, Ahmed and Bilal derive the same shared value, which is used to create an instance of a symmetric key. अब इस procedure से हमारे पास हुआ क्या? I mean, Ahmed and Bilal both have generated a similar instance of a same key that is called as your symmetric session keys, right? I mean, by using Diffie-Hellman, we are going to create a pair of a key that would be same at both the ends. You may call them as a symmetric key. I mean, at Bilal's end and as well as at Ahmed's end. Now, when the two same symmetric keys are being generated, now your communication would take place like a symmetric encryption. At Bilal's end, Bilal would be using his symmetric key that is being generated through a Diffie-Hellman, encrypt करेगा text को, send कर देगा Ahmed को. Ahmed at his end uses his symmetric key, decrypt the information and see the plain text what the Bilal has sent to him. Now this is the major, I mean, functionality or major procedure that is being followed during the Diffie-Hellman algorithm, right? So Ahmed and Bilal exchange information that did not need to be protected, their public keys, over an untrusted network, and in turn generated the exact same symmetric key on each system. They both can now use these symmetric keys to encrypt, transmit, and decrypt information as they communicate with each other. Now see, Ahmed and Bilal, what they have done, they have shared their public information. I mean to say that the public key over a unsecured channel. Now that public key does not have any problem because that is being, I mean to say that shared with everybody in a public private key infrastructure, right? That is being shared among all the peoples. But once it is being shared, after that, a symmetric key pair has been generated through a Diffie-Hellman algorithm that is being executed at both the ends. I mean at Ahmed's end as well as at Bilal's end, and that Diffie-Hellman has generated a symmetric key at both the ends, and these symmetric keys are same as well as at Bilal's end and as well as at Ahmed's end. Now anybody who wants to communicate, I mean Ahmed and Bilal's to communicate through a mechanism that needs to be communicated using that particular symmetric key, right? So the preceding example describes key agreement, which is different from key exchange, the functionality used by the other symmetric algorithms that will be discussed in this chapter. So with key exchange functionality, the sender encrypts the symmetric key with the receiver's public key before transmission, right? एक चीज है, मैंने आपको बताया था कि we have the concepts of key exchange and key agreement, right? Your Diffie-Hellman is a key agreement protocol and all others are being called as your key exchange protocol, right? Now what do you mean by key agreement? Key agreement का मतलब ये है, you are not going to transmit your symmetric key by using any type of public private pair. Now let's take an example of hybrid encryption algorithm. उसमें हम क्या कर रहे थे, हम एक पहले सिमेट्रिक की का पेयर जनरेट कर रहे थे, सॉरी सिमेट्रिक की जनरेट कर रहे थे, एंड दैट सिमेट्रिक की इज गोइंग टू बी encrypted with the public key of one user. ठीक है, by using that particular public key we are going to encrypt that particular symmetric key, and that symmetric key is being transmitted to the receiver, and at the receiver's hand, by using his private key, it is going to decrypt the information. Now that symmetric key is being transmitted using public private key encryption, and this is what you can call it as key exchange. इसमें हमारे पास क्या हो रहा है, हमारे पास symmetric key exchange हो रही है, लेकिन key agreement का क्या मतलब है, जो हमारे पास Diffie-Hellman है, कि इसमें हम देखें we are not transforming or we are not transmitting our key. Diffie-Hellman is going to be executed at both the ends, and your key is being generated instantaneously at both the ends. They are not being transmitted, but they are being agreemented between sender as well as at the receiver. I mean Ahmed और Bilal agreement कर रहे हैं कि we are going to generate these two keys at our own ends, right? So this is the difference between I mean to say that key agreement and key exchange protocol. While when we are talking about key exchange functionality, the sender encrypts the symmetric key with the receiver's public key before transmission, right? So this is the basic definition, or this is the basic difference between key exchange and key agreement, right? So the Diffie-Hellman algorithm enables two systems to exchange a symmetric key securely without recurring a previous relationship or prior arrangement. The algorithm allows for key distribution but does not provide encryption or digital signature functionality. The algorithm is based on the difficulty of calculating discrete logarithm in a finite field. Now see, now this is what he's going to tell regarding the Diffie-Hellman. Diffie-Hellman algorithm is going to give us an idea that by using two systems, we can exchange the symmetric key securely with our sender and receiver. That might require a previous relationship or prior arrangements, right? The algorithm allows for key distribution but does not provide encryption or digital signature functionality. अब देखें, आपके पास algorithm आपको allow करता है key distribution के लिए, but there is no any encryption or digital signature functionality is being available when your key are being distributed, right? So the algorithm is based on the difficulty of calculating discrete logarithms in a finite field. Now, one thing I need to tell you, when we are talking about symmetric key algorithms, they were based upon substitution and transpositions. I mean, how the encryption is being performed internally by applying certain sort of substitution and transposition functions. They are normally the procedures that are being applied over a text, and your text is being jumbled or substituted, and based on that your encryption is being performed. But when we are talking about asymmetric algorithms, जिसमें हमारे पास Diffie-Hellman, RSA और ये सारे के सारे हैं, every algorithm has certain mathematical logic behind. I mean certain mathematical function is going to be performed or algorithm is going to be performed, and based on that your I mean to say that encryption is going to be performed, right? And make sure in every algorithm, for every algorithm, that particular formula is different. I mean that algorithm is different for every asymmetric algorithm, right? So if we are talking about Diffie-Hellman algorithm, तो Diffie-Hellman algorithm आपके पास backend के ऊपर कौन सा mathematical formula use करता है या mathematical equation use करता है? It is using, the algorithm is based on the difficulty of calculating discrete logarithms in a finite field, right? Now, what it is, we need to explain in the future slides or in the future course, I mean lectures. But right now you need to understand Diffie-Hellman is a key agreement protocol, right? And it is, I mean to say that, and it based upon calculating the discrete logarithm in a finite field, right? So this is a basic idea of a Diffie-Hellman. So the original Diffie-Hellman algorithm is vulnerable to a man-in-the-middle attack because no authentication occurs before a public key is exchanged, right? Now this is a big issue. I mean, अब देखें Diffie-Hellman आपके पास propose तो कर दिया गया, लेकिन उसमें आपके पास issue क्या था? The issue was man-in-the-middle attack. Now what is the man-in-the-middle attack? I would be explaining you in the next few slides. But right now you need to understand that in Diffie-Hellman, your public keys are being exchanged between multiple set of users. Now we are not sure the public key that is being exchanged between Ahmed and Bilal. I mean Ahmed exchange his public key with Bilal and Bilal his exchange his public key with Ahmed. Now who is going to ensure that these public keys belongs to Ahmed and Bilal? I mean that is not an authentication. That public key can be of anyone, right? But this is the big drawback of this particular algorithm, because of this particular issue a man-in-the-middle attack can be possible in this particular scenario. Now by giving example I would like to explain you how this is going to be happen, but you need to understand man-in-the-middle attack can be possible in this Diffie-Hellman algorithm, right? Now let's take an example. I mean we have two persons, Ahmed and Bilal. Ahmed sends his public key to Bilal. how does Bilal really know it is Ahmad's public key? I mean, this is a question. अहमद ने अपनी पब्लिक की बिलाल को सेंड की, लेकिन who is going to ensure that कि बिलाल really know it's Ahmad's public key? किसी और की भी पब्लिक की हो सकती है, ठीक है. What if Rashid spoofed his identity, told Bilal he was Ahmad and sent over his key? Bilal would accept this key thinking it came from Ahmad. Let's walk through the step of how this type of attack would take place as illustrated in the figure. Now, I would like to explain you by using this diagram. Now, this is the scenario, right? अब इस सिनेरियो के अंदर आपके पास क्या हो रहा है? Ahmad and Bilal are the two legitimate users, right? Ahmad is a legitimate user and Bilal is a legitimate user. I mean, they both want to communicate by using a Diffie-Hellman. ठीक है जी. Diffie-Hellman का मतलब क्या है कि आपके पास एक सिमेट्रिक की अहमद के पास जनरेट होगी और दूसरी सिमेट्रिक की बिलाल के पास जनरेट होगी. And once they are being generated, they are going to communicate by using these symmetric keys, right? That's fine. But before generating that particular symmetric key, how they would generate these symmetric key at both their ends without, I mean, transmitting these symmetric keys, right? What they would done, they would using their public keys, अहमद अपनी पब्लिक की बिलाल के साथ शेयर करेगा और बिलाल अपनी पब्लिक की अहमद के साथ शेयर करेगा, ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट हैपन इन द मीन टाइम, अब ये सिचुएशन अभी अकर होने वाली थी. इन द मीन टाइम आपके पास राशिद की एंट्री हो गई. नाउ राशिद हैज इंटरप्टेड देयर कम्युनिकेशन, Ahmad and Bilal's communication, and took control of their communication, and he is sitting in between them and communicating with Ahmad as well as with Bilal, and nobody knows that who is doing all these things. Now what happens when Ahmad is sharing his public key with Bilal? That is going to be, I mean, captured by Rashid, and the same way when Bilal is sharing his public key with Ahmad, that is also being captured by Rashid. ठीक है जी. अब उन दोनों को नहीं पता कि what they assume that अहमद को बिलाल की की मिल गई है और बिलाल को अहमद की मिल गई है, बट ऐसा हुआ नहीं. इन बिटवीन राशिद ने उन दोनों की कीज को कैप्चर किया, ठीक है. एंड व्हाट ही हैज डन, दैट्स व्हाट वी नीड टू लर्न. नाउ these are the stepwise procedure that it is going to explain you regarding the man in the middle attack. Now the first step is Ahmad sends his public key to Bilal, right? But Rashid grabs the key during transmission, so it never makes it to Bilal. ठीक है जी. अहमद ने पब्लिक की बिलाल को सेंड की. नाउ मेक श्योर अहमद एंड बिलाल बोथ आर द लेजिटिमेट यूजर्स, राइट? अहमद ने पब्लिक की बिलाल को सेंड की और बिलाल राशिद ने क्या किया, उसको ग्रैब कर लिया एंड ही नेवर I mean disclose it to Bilal that के राशिद ने उस की को ग्रैब कर लिया, ठीक है. Now Rashid spoofs Ahmad's identity, right? I mean to say that hides Ahmad's identity and send over his public key to Bilal, right? Bilal now thinks he has Ahmad's public key. अब क्या किया, राशिद ने उसकी आइडेंटिटी को हाइड किया, अहमद की आइडेंटिटी को, और अपनी पब्लिक की, किस अपनी मीन्स राशिद ने अपनी पब्लिक की को बिलाल को सेंड कर दिया, right? Now Bilal thinks that this key belongs to Ahmad, but actually this was not belongs to Ahmad, this was belongs to Rashid, right? That was a malicious user who was sitting between them. Now third step, Bilal sends his public key to Ahmad. अब Bilal ये सारा procedure follow करेगा. Now Bilal would be sending his public key to Ahmad, but what Rashid has done, Rashid grabs the key during the transmission, so it never make it to Ahmad. अब उसने उसको ग्रैब किया और आई मीन टू से दैट अहमद को अपनी एक की भेज दी, ठीक है. और उससे बिलाल को क्या लगा कि ये मेरी की है, अहमद को क्या लगा कि ये की बिलाल की है, बट एक्चुअली दैट वाज नॉट बिलोंग्स टू अहमद, बट दैट वाज एक्चुअली राशिद्स की, राइट? अब स्टेप 4 पे आ जाएं. Now Rashid spoofs Bilal's identity and send over his public key to Ahmad, and Ahmad now thinks that he has Bilal's public key. अब दोनों एंड के ऊपर उसने गेम चला दी है. अहमद को पता चल गया कि बिलाल की यूज हो रही है और बिलाल को पता चल गया अहमद की कीज यूज हो रही है, बट एक्चुअली दैट इज नॉट द केस. इन बिटवीन एक बंदा आया, दैट वाज राशिद, एंड राशिद शेयर्ड देयर ओन कीज विथ अहमद एंड बिलाल, एंड what they assumes they are talking to each other, but in actual they are not talking to each other, they are talking through Rashid. Now what happens, Ahmad combines his private key and Rashid's public key and creates a symmetric key S1. अब देखें अहमद ने क्या किया, आई मीन हु इज द सिटिंग एट द लेफ्ट, उसने अपनी प्राइवेट की के साथ राशिद की पब्लिक की को क्रिएट किया एंड क्रिएट अ सिमेट्रिक की S1. नाउ अहमद ने अपनी प्राइवेट की उठाई, राशिद की पब्लिक की उठाई, उसको डिफी-हेलमैन के थ्रू प्रोसेस किया एंड ही हैज जनरेटेड S1. अब अहमद के पास एक सिमेट्रिक की जनरेट हो गई, दैट इज S1, जो नॉर्मल डिफी-हेलमैन में जनरेट होती है. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट राशिद हैज डन एट हिज एंड, Rashid combine his private key and Ahmad's public key and creates a symmetric key S1. और राशिद ने भी क्या किया, अपने पास उसकी प्राइवेट की तो होगी ना, उसने अहमद की पब्लिक की को उठाया, उन दोनों को कंबाइन किया, डिफी-हेलमैन से प्रोसेस किया एंड ही हैज आल्सो जनरेटेड अ सिमेट्रिक की S1. अब अहमद और राशिद के पास अपनी अपनी सेम इंस्टेंस की सिमेट्री की जनरेट हो गई. नाउ दे कैन कम्युनिकेट बट नोबडी नोज दैट एक्चुअली अहमद इज कम्युनिकेटिंग विद राशिद और ही इज कम्युनिकेटिंग विद समवन एल्स. ठीक है जी, ये एक आई मीन सिनेरियो क्लियर हुआ हमें, राइट. अब आ जाए बिलाल के ऊपर. बिलाल ने भी यही परफॉर्म किया. बिलाल कंबाइन हिज प्राइवेट की एंड राशिद पब्लिक की एंड क्रिएट सिमेट्रिक की S2. अब बिलाल ने अपने एंड के ऊपर प्राइवेट की अपनी उठाई और राशिद ने जो अपनी पब्लिक की शेयर की थी बिलाल के साथ, उन दोनों को कंबाइन करके डिफी-हेलमैन से प्रोसेस किया एंड ही हैज जनरेटेड एन अदर की S2 एट हिज एंड. बिलाल ने अपने पास S2 जनरेट हो गई उसके पास. और राशिद ने क्या किया, आई मीन एट स्टेप 8, राशिद कंबाइन हिज प्राइवेट की एंड बिलाल्स पब्लिक की, जो बिलाल ने अपनी पब्लिक की राशिद के साथ शेयर की है, राइट, जो राशिद ने इन एक्चुअल ग्रैब की है. ठीक है. एंड बिलाल्स पब्लिक की एंड क्रिएट सिमेट्रिक की S2. अब राशिद हैज क्रिएटेड सिमेट्रिक की S2 एट हिज एंड. अब नाउ सी, आई मीन अहमद और राशिद, they have created their own similar symmetric keys S1 S1 और Rashid and Bilal has created their own symmetric keys S2 S2. ये दोनों आपके पास दो सेशंस क्रिएट हो गए. बट Ahmad and Bilal doesn't know about that. ठीक है, उनको नहीं पता. What they think that they are communicating by themselves, right? There is no any third person inside. But in actual आपका Rashid inside है और जो आपके पास man in the middle attack launch कर चुका है. Now Ahmad and Rashid share a symmetric key S1 and Bilal and Rashid share a different symmetric key S2. Now Ahmad and Bilal thinks they are sharing a key between themselves and do not realize Rashid is involved, right? Now Ahmad writes a message to Bilal, uses his symmetric key S1 to encrypt the message and sends it. अब अहमद क्या करेगा, अहमद के पास S1 है. ठीक है, वो क्या करेगा, अपना जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन बिलाल को भेजनी है उसने उसको S1 से एनक्रिप्ट किया और सेंड कर दिया. लेकिन ये इंफॉर्मेशन बिलाल के पास तो पहुंचेगी नहीं, ये जाएगी पहले राशिद के पास. राशिद के पास उसी सेम सिमेट्रिक की का दूसरा इंस्टेंस किसने जनरेट किया हुआ है, राशिद ने, ना कि बिलाल ने. अब राशिद क्या करेगा, उस इंफॉर्मेशन को डिक्रिप्ट करेगा बाय यूजिंग द सेम इंस्टेंस ऑफ अ सिमेट्रिक की दैट ही हैज, I mean S1 also Rashid has also an S1 ना, तो उससे वो decrypt कर लेगा, right? So Rashid grabs the message and decrypt it with symmetric key S1, reads or modifies the message and re-encrypt it with symmetric key S2 and then sends to Bilal. ठीक है जी, राशिद ने उसको S1 से decrypt किया, जो भी उसके अंदर confidential information थी उसको पढ़ा, I mean read all the information, manipulate it whatsoever he wants to do, and then what he has done, he re-encrypt the same message by using S2, the key that belongs to Bilal and Rashid, that is another symmetric key. अब उसने S2 को उठा के उसको encrypt कर दिया उस मैसेज को again, right, and send it to Bilal. Now Bilal takes symmetric key S2 and uses it to decrypt and read the message. अब बिलाल के पास जैसी वो इन्फॉर्मेशन पहुंचेगी, बिलाल के पास तो वैसे ही S2 है, तो वो उस इन्फॉर्मेशन को लेते हुए उसको डिक्रिप्ट करेगा और अपनी इन्फॉर्मेशन को देखेगा. बट ही डजंट नो दैट कि इन बिटवीन उनके साथ एक बहुत बड़ा मिसहैप हो चुका है. राशिद हैज स्पूफ देयर मैसेजेस, स्पूफ देयर इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड collected all the information. So the countermeasure of this type of attack is to have fine. That's all. Now up till now, up to 16th slide, that was clear. अब आ जाएं कि इसके काउंटर मेजर्स क्या हो सकते हैं. The countermeasure to this type of attack is to have authentication take place before accepting someone's public key. अब इसका सोल्यूशन क्या हो सकता है कि हम ऑथेंटिकेशन प्रोवाइड करें when someone is sending his public key. अब देखें ना, अहमद को बिलाल ने अपनी पब्लिक की प्रोवाइड की और बिलाल को अहमद ने अपनी पब्लिक की प्रोवाइड की, राइट. अब अगर उस पब्लिक की ऑथेंटिकेशन होती है, आई मीन इज इट कमिंग फ्रॉम अहमद or is it coming from Bilal, then this might not happen because there is no any authentication procedure was performed in Diffie-Hellman regarding the public key exchange. So because of that, man in the middle attack is possible, which usually happens through the use of digital signatures and digital certificate. Ab, most of you have heard about the digital signatures or the digital certificates. These are the mechanisms which are being used in cryptography in order to make any message or any information legitimate. I mean to say that अगर ये digital signature या certificates आपके attach हैं किसी data के साथ, तो this means that your data is legitimate and it's confirmed that this is coming from this particular source, right? So we will be learning regarding the digital certificates in future, but right now you need to understand we can overcome this particular problem by implementing digital signatures. ठीक है जी. तो once digital signatures are being attached with the public keys, ठीक है, तो अब हमें पता होगा कि ये जो वाला public key है that belongs to Ahmed and we need to accept only from Ahmed. तो अब हमें confirm होगा कि ये जो public keys हैं they are coming from Ahmed, तो हम इसको accept करेंगे. अगर public key किसी और की तरफ से आ रही है तो we must not accept it, right? So although the Diffie-Hellman algorithm is vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attack, it does not mean this type of compromises can take place anywhere this algorithm is deployed. So most implementation include another piece of software or a protocol that compensate for this vulnerability, but some do not. As a security professional, you should understand these issues. I mean, it doesn't mean that if some algorithm is being compromised due to some issues, so we must not use those particular algorithms in future. It doesn't mean that. We need to find some alternative solution to that for Diffie-Hellman, because man in the middle attack is possible, but we do have another option like digital signatures. We might use digital signatures with Diffie-Hellman, so we can overcome this particular problem. So that's the main conclusion of this particular slide, right? So that's all for I mean to say that Diffie-Hellman, that was the first key agreement algorithm that was being used with asymmetric key cryptography. Now we have RSA. ठीक है जी. RSA, named after its inventors Ron Rivest, Eddie Shamir, and Leonard Edelman, is a public key algorithm that is the most popular when it comes to asymmetric algorithms. RSA is a worldwide de facto standard that can be used for digital signatures, key exchange, and encryption. It was developed in 1978 at MIT and provides authentication as well as key encryption. Now see, RSA was being developed by these three people, Rivest, Shamir, and Edelman. It's a public key algorithm, right, as it is an asymmetric key, and it's most popular because it's being an asymmetric algorithm. RSA is a worldwide de facto standard and can be used for digital signatures, key exchange, and encryption. I mean, what type of services your RSA provide? It might provide the digital signatures, the key exchange, and the encryption. So it was being developed in 1978 by MIT, one of the most renowned university of the world, and provides authentication as well as key encryption. आपके पास authentication भी provide करता था ये और key encryption भी. I mean, RSA is going to overcome the problem that were being identified by your Diffie-Hellman. ठीक है जी. So the security of these algorithms comes from the difficulty of factoring large number. As I have told you that Diffie-Hellman has its own mathematical challenge that was being used. As I told you that every asymmetric algorithm has its own mathematical challenge. ठीक है जी, वो आपके पास discrete logarithmetic पे काम कर रहा था. Now this algorithm, the security of this algorithm comes from the difficulty of factoring large numbers. The public and private keys are functions of a pair of large prime numbers, and the necessary activity required to decrypt a message from a ciphertext to a plain text using a private key is comparable to factoring a product into two prime numbers. अब यहाँ पे ये चीज बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट अंडरस्टैंड करने की है कि जो आपका RSA है ना, इट वर्क्स ऑन द मल्टीप्लीकेशन ऑफ टू लार्ज प्राइम नंबर्स एंड देन refactoring of that particular large prime number back to a original numbers, right? This is the back end logic of your RSA algorithm. कैसे काम करता है, किस तरह से करता है, we don't have to go in detail, but you need to know about जो mathematical I mean to say that challenge है जो आपका पीछे सॉल्व हो रहा होता है। जैसे हम कहते हैं ना कि कोई भी फंक्शन है उसकी लॉजिक क्या है, आई मीन लेट्स सपोज हम फैक्टोरियल निकालते हैं किसी भी प्रोग्राम का, वी जस्ट क्लिक ऑन अ फंक्शन, यू वुड बी गेटिंग द वैल्यू। लेकिन बैक एंड पे लॉजिक क्या चल रही है, बैक एंड पे कौन सा फॉर्मूला लगाया गया, दैट इज व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दीज एल्गोरिथम। एल्गोरिथम्स आर डूइंग एन्क्रिप्शन, वी नो दैट, बट what type of mathematical challenge is behind that particular encryption, that is related to each and every I mean asymmetric algorithm, right? So a prime number is a positive whole number with no proper division divisors, meaning the only numbers that can divide a prime number are one and number itself. अब ये तो सबको ही पता है कि प्राइम नंबर्स क्या होते हैं, या तो वो एक से डिवाइड होते हैं या वो itself से डिवाइड होते हैं, nothing else, right? So one advantage of using RSA is that it can be used for encryption and digital signatures. Using its one-way function, RSA provides encryption and signature verification, and the inverse direction performs decryption and signature generation. Now see, there is a one-way function concept that I will be telling you in the next slide. Not next slide, but in the next chapter. कि जी वन वे फंक्शन परफॉर्मेंस की बेस के ऊपर ये काम करता है। अब वन वे फंक्शन आपके पास क्या होता है कि यू नीड टू गो इन फर्स्ट डायरेक्शन और इन द फॉरवर्ड डायरेक्शन इन अ वेरी नॉर्मल वे, बट इट वुड बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू कम बैक फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर, आई मीन टू से दैट स्टेटस। लेट टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ ग्लास। हमारे पास एक शीशे का ग्लास है, अगर आप उसने आपने हाथ में पकड़ा हुआ है उसको, आप उसको छोड़ें, it will it will hit the ground and break. So have you ever think कि उसको दोबारा से आप उसी ग्लास के अंदर बना सकते हैं, because it has been divided into a very small pieces and it will be very difficult to regenerate the same glass in the same shape and in the same quality. It would be very difficult. So that's what the RSA works. RSA I mean आपने दो प्राइम नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई किया, उसकी आउटपुट आ गई, दैट इज द फॉरवर्ड वन वे फंक्शन। अब बैकवर्ड इसको चलाना, अगेन से दो प्राइम नंबर्स को जनरेट करना फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर गिवन वैल्यू, इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टास्क, राइट? लाइक अ ग्लास और like to regenerate a glass. So this is actually the basic idea behind encryption and decryption of your RSA or any type of a symmetric algorithm, right? Sorry, RSA algorithm, ठीक है जी। तो using its one way function, RSA provides encryption and signature verification. I mean अगर हम forward की बात करें तो आपके पास RSA provide करता है encryption और सिग्नेचर वेरिफिकेशन। जब हम इसी एल्गोरिथम को रिवर्स लेके आएंगे इनवर्स डायरेक्शन में, तो it performs decryption and signature generation, right? So RSA has been implemented in applications like an operating system by Microsoft, Apple, Sun, and Novell, and at the hardware level in network interface cards, secure telephones, and smart cards. So it can be used as a key exchange protocol, meaning it is used to encrypt the symmetric keys to get it securely to its destinations. Now this text has told you regarding where RSA has been implemented, like all the operating system like Microsoft, Apple, Sun, and Novels, and it has a hardware level implementation also, like your network interface cards. Your RSA is being implemented. I mean security is being implemented by using RSA, right? So secure telephone, smart cards, or like that. It can be a key exchange protocol. Make sure this is not a key agreement protocol. Key exchange का मतलब हमें पता है कि your key is securely being distributed from source to a destination by using this particular protocol, right? So RSA has been the most commonly used with the symmetric algorithm like DES, which is quickly being replaced with AES. So when RSA is used as a key exchange protocol, a crypto system generates a symmetric key using either the DES or AES algorithm. Then the system encrypts the symmetric key with the receiver's public key and send it to the receiver. The symmetric key is protected because only the individual with the corresponding private key can decrypt and extract the symmetric key. Now the same concept that we need to implement using a hybrid encryption scheme. आपके पास क्या है, RSA जो है this is being used with the symmetric algorithm DES or AES. इसमें आपके पास क्या होगा कि your symmetric key is being generated at one end, and that particular symmetric key would be encrypted with the public key, and that particular data would be sent over an internet or over a network at the receiver's end. प्राइवेट की को यूज करते हुए उस सिमेट्रिक की को डिक्रिप्ट किया जाएगा, एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर सिमेट्रिक की वुड बी ट्रांसमिटेड फ्रॉम सेंडर टू द रिसीवर सिक्योरली. This is the main functionality that RSA has to be performed. That's why it is being called as your key exchange protocol. right? So that's all for today.